Welcome to this operations management tutorial video on forecasting. This is part 2 of a 4-part series on forecasting, and in this video we're going to talk about measuring forecast accuracy. Like many things in life, it's important to measure our performance so that we know where we can improve. It's no different with forecasting, and so we're going to look at a couple of basic methods for measuring our forecast accuracy. One of which is mean absolute deviation. The other is mean absolute percentage error. And we're going to return to those same problems we worked on from the textbook that we have in our Excel workbook, except this time we're going to add 2 more weeks of forecasting. Weeks 4 and weeks 5 now have data or forecasts for the different methods we looked at in that first video. And we're going to start by measuring the absolute deviation between the actual demand and the numbers we forecasted for each of these 4 methods. We'll begin with a 3-week moving average, and to get the absolute difference we use the ABS formula. It returns the absolute value of a number as it says here, open parentheses, and then we're going to begin with the actual demand, and we're going to anchor that column reference, which is the letter C in this case. So we have a $ only in front of the letter C, and then we have that minus the 3-week moving average forecast for that period, week 4. Hit enter, and that gives us a difference of 18.7. We copy that down through the remaining weeks, and that gives us our absolute deviation for each of these weeks. Now that we have this data, we can drag it across to the other forecasting methods, and we can do a spot check to make sure that our formulas are correct. And it looks like here we're grabbing the actual demand and the trend forecast, so yes, it looks like our formulas are correct. In order to get the mean absolute deviation, we want to get the average of these differences, and so we simply use the average formula. And there we have it, 17.7. So what this says is during this 5-week period, the 3-week moving average forecast deviates on average 17.7 from the actual demand. We can drag this formula across as well, and we can see how well each of these forecast methods did. And we see that the 3-week weighted moving average had the lowest absolute deviation. Shortly behind the 3-week weighted moving average was the exponential smoothing. These two were substantially better than the other 2 forecasting methods. So that's how you calculate the mean absolute deviation when measuring forecast accuracy. Let's move on to the mean absolute percentage error, and for this measurement approach we take the absolute deviation for the given forecasting method and divide it by the actual forecast. Again, we need to anchor the column reference $ in front of the C. Hit enter, and we can drag this formula down through all the remaining weeks, and we can also drag it across through all the forecasting methods. And so there we have the data for each method for each week, and then just like before we can take the average of that data, and we'll just copy that formula across, and we'll do so without formatting. And so there we have it. This is a percentage measurement, and again the 3-week weighted moving average has the lowest mean absolute percentage error, followed by the exponential smoothing. Those 2 are the best forecasting methods, with moving average and trend further behind. Well, I hope this information is helpful and helps you understand the importance of measuring forecast accuracy as a way to improve your forecasting. And, of course, I hope this helps you with your homework this week.